what we're trying to develop is that magical situation where you have reward tokenomics matched with significant external revenue in an operating business in a real world situation. So just to touch on that, essentially Staked, we're a tech company and we're positioning ourselves to be the next Doordash. So we're basically a Web3 version of Just Eats or Doordash. And so we will manage food delivery with an app that we're in the process of developing that will initially be Web 2, but will have Web 3 built into it. And basically every transaction generates rewards to holders through that. And that's either through direct revenue that flows through that app or through the purchase of tokens as part of a reward system that we built into the Web3 component. And so what's magical about that is that we're going to be able to offer this service to hospitality at a rate that saves restaurants and cafes 75 to 90% of what they're currently paying. Right now, service providers are paying 15 to 30%. And for anyone who knows the food service industry, 15 to 30% is really unsustainable and literally is putting businesses out of business all across the world. So we're going to offer a simplified service. It will manage the ordering and delivery, and we will charge 4%. And basically the revenues of that 4% flow directly back into our Staked project.
And currently right now, you're still in your pre-sale, correct?
Yeah, thank you. We have a private sale for buys of 5 B&B plus, and we have a pre-sale for buys of for below 5 B&B. That is open until tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we are into the final 24 hours of our raise, and we're very excited about where we are. Some more B&B is always great, but we're excited to start to move into the development stage of the project. So
now, when I first looked into the project, obviously I went through the website, went through some of the information. What decision did you guys feel was necessary for the rebranding aspect in regards to logo, colors? I found that very interesting.
Yeah, well, we are, our experience, a lot of our experience is in real world business. And so, I've always believed in business that you get a lot of value out of consulting experts on branding. You get a lot of value out of, essentially having your best foot forward immediately for investors or for people who are interested in being your clients, which, might be a restaurant or it might be different parties. So, that branding is really important, that it is built in a way that can grow with your brand, that you can take and utilize into multiple media streams and in a way that's successful. So we had our initial logo that we sort of built internally, but we did know that as we move towards investing in the development of our app and a larger ecosystem, that we wanted something very professional that could grow with us. So we decided to move towards that, and we're very happy. We just dropped our new branding yesterday. So we feel that you need to have those things done properly, and that's why we wanted to make that movement towards that.
Yeah, and I really like the new logo. I was working with the old one for a little while there, and then when I realized you guys had switched it, I'm like, oops. All right, I got to redo some stuff here.
I might do a little bit of a deep dive into sort of how some of the features in our app work, because that'll kind of provide a little bit of context, including a little bit of financial projections, if that's
Perfect.
okay. Does that
Absolutely.
sound all right? Yeah. So one thing when we went to design our project and we looked at how we were going to build revenue, we've been investors in the space, and we've been invested in a lot of tokens throughout the bear market, and that can be tough on reward projects, both to generate revenue and also to generate rewards for holders. And so when we were designing how our app would be built and how revenue would flow through, we did want to adopt a system that essentially paid holders first And we've done this by essentially giving holders a part of the revenue that flows through the app. And so rather than having a real world business system that calculates a reward based on profit, every time somebody uses the app, part of that revenue flows through to the holders of our SDX token. This also gives us a sort of a fairly simple process to calculate out what future app rewards, not necessarily trading rewards, but the app rewards that come through that system, just based on the number of restaurants that might be using our services and the daily amount of sales that we have. So we will be launching in the UK. John's network of restaurant owners, and people who work in the industry is very significant, from partially from running some of those large events that he's run, partially from his role right now. He's very well known, so his ability to connect to the industry is very significant. So just to throw a little bit of math out there, there is approximately 200,000 potential clients for our food delivery services in the UK alone. We feel that offering the kind of service that's going to save business 75 to 90% will generate a lot of interest from the industry. We believe in that really strongly. So if we look at a 1% share of that market, that will take some time to build out, but we think is very doable. That would equate to 2,000 restaurants. So if we have a daily sale rate of $600 per restaurant, we think the average is probably about $750, but we've used $600 in our numbers. This creates $1.2 million of revenue that would flow through our app on a daily basis. So this creates a $12,000 buy of tokens that then get redistributed back to the users of the app. This is in the Web3 component, as well as $36,000 worth of fees that flow back to our project.